You always see these ads of people talking about how they travel with dialysis machines and how it's so easy and it's so much fun and you just put it in the car and go. That's not true. Right? There's several components that go along with bringing this machine and using it and taking it with you. It's not as easy as just a plug in and go type of thing. Okay, so for those of you who are unfamiliar with what these two things are, this is a home hemodialysis machine. Now, these are two separate components. This top part is called the dialyzer. That can be removed. Now, this dialyzer, this machine here, weighs about 70 pounds. Okay, so good luck trying to get this into your car, especially if you're by yourself. And then, if you, depending on the methodology that you use, you can either use hanging bags or you have to bring the pure flow with you. And that's not all. You see all this cordage here? All of this cordage here. Now you got to bring all of this cordage here and all of those connections inside there so that way you can connect it to a water source. So that way you can use the pure flow. But that's not everything. Like I said, it's not just a plug and play type of thing. So these are all of my supplies that I use for dialysis. These are the additional components that you need. The first thing, or not the first thing, some of the things you're going to need. Okay, let's explore the kind of things you're going to need, these additional components you're going to need to take with you in order for you to do dialysis abroad. Like if you're traveling, all right, you're going to need to bring your sacks with you. So there's 2 sacks per box. So you might need to bring maybe 2 boxes depending on how long you're going to be gone. If you're using the pure flow, you're going to need to bring a pack with you. Right? This is a purification. This is like a purification system for the water that you're going to have to connect to the sink. So there's no way of determining when a pack is going to expire, to my knowledge. So you might be out, going to Disneyland or on a vacation or whatever. Your pack goes down. You can't use the pure flow. You need to bring some waistlines with you. You're going to need to bring hanging bags depending on what your prescription is. You might need to bring 3 boxes. I use 4 boxes. There's 2 hanging bags per box. So it all depends on what your prescription is, but you definitely might have to bring some of these depending on what method you're using. You're going to have to bring saline with you. You might have to bring a box of saline or however many you're going to need to use. You're definitely going to have to bring cartridges with you because these cartridges are not foolproof. Sometimes they come out of the pack with quality control issues. So you got to bring some cartridges with you, probably a box. And then there's this. You got to bring your blood pressure cuff. Got to bring some gloves. Got to bring gauze. You got to bring heparin. Got to bring some tape. Got to bring syringes. These are 10 milliliter. You got to bring the smaller ones, which are 3 milliliter. Got to bring some alcohol pads. I bring some sanitizer, hand sanitizer. Got to bring some chucks with you. Got to bring a thermometer. Got to bring needles with you. These are all the components that go into doing one dialysis treatment. So think about this. You're going to have to travel with all of this stuff. You're going to need to bring your sharps container. You got to bring your iPad. Now the iPad you would use to chart, but you can write it down on paper. It's just a lot easier to use the iPad. And if you bring the iPad, you got to bring the router. And last, but certainly not least, you got to bring your scale. Mask. But if you decided you didn't want to do any of that, right? You didn't want to lug all that stuff around with you. There is one other way that you can travel easily as a dialysis patient. You can have your dialysis unit. Even if you do dialysis at home, like you still have like a home-based dialysis unit that you have. Depending on where you're going or where you are, you can have that dialysis unit call up the local unit that's closest to you, and you can, if they have the space, that's the thing, they might not have the space, but if they have the space, they can coordinate a time for you to show up. You can do your treatment, and then you can just go about the rest of your vacation. But this idea that you, as a dialysis patient, you can just get up and go, no fuss, no muss, is a fallacy. It's not real. It takes quite a bit of effort to travel with a dialysis machine. It's not easy. None of this stuff is easy.